Welcome back to another video today, guys. I sort of just want to give an update. I want to let you guys know kind of what I want to do for this channel. So I'm sort of going to switch direction on some things and focus more on what I really want to post about, which is like biblical masculinity and stuff like that, and sort of treating this as like a practice ground for when I am involved in discipleship groups and leading stuff like that. So that's kind of what my videos are going to be aimed at now, but I also just want to talk about general life advice and stuff like that. So whether you're a Christian or not, keep following this channel if you want to, if you find it helpful. That's why I haven't posted in a little bit. I've just been deciding on what I want to do and really what is best for me right now, and sort of just we'll figure it out as it goes. But anyway, I want to tell a little story. And I'm probably going to title this video Doing the Hard Thing, or like something around those lines. But in life, you often have to get out of your comfort zone and try something that your brain tells you that you shouldn't do, right? There's sort of this disconnect between how you want to act and what your mind sort of tells you, right? What your mind is sort of influence you and how that interacts with your nervous system. So I was thinking about this in the car, and this is normally how a lot of these videos start, is I just am kind of talking to myself in the car, thinking about stuff, sort of reenacting this video, but without a camera. So I may as well just film these in my car. But anyway, so I was just at the gym, and I don't know why, but like I had an extra coffee this morning, or I got it from Starbucks, which I usually don't. So I think it just had more caffeine in it, and I have a very low tolerance for caffeine. So my heart was like racing. It was higher. I usually run higher. It was running a bit higher, but nothing crazy, but I felt off. So I ended up just chilling out for like 20 minutes or something, and then I got back into it. Still felt kind of off, but anyway, that's not the point. So my heart rate was already kind of offbeat and all that. And then I ended up, there's this girl at the gym, and my gym it's a rec center, so there's a lot of older people who go there. So it's somewhat rare to see kids my age. Not as much college kids. When I started going, there's a lot of people like from colleges like an hour away or even less, like especially during the summer. A lot of people train for sports there as well. So I saw her there. She was pretty attractive, right? Through a glance over every now and then. Again, not trying to be weird or anything, but she caught my eye. So I just kept working out and stuff, and then my brain was like, should I talk to her? Because I've done that a few times, and I really enjoyed doing it, and it's not for any ulterior motives besides just to get to know the person. Right, this is something that our generation and society is so weird with now, is like just going up and talking to people, because social media will tell you that there's just guys constantly trying to hit on girls and all this stuff, and that they're just looking in it for the sex and for the beauty of the person, and like all this hookup culture and all this stuff has told us that that's sort of what is reality now, which is true. But again, like I want to lead other men where it's like, just because society tells you shouldn't do that, like in the sense where it looks bad from everybody else's perspective, and really I believe, I can only speak to the male experience, but it's like I don't think a lot of females see it that way. If they're a person that is worthy of you, if you want a relationship, whether it's just a friendship or an actual relationship later down the line, right? If you just approach it as if you're meeting a friend or you're just getting to know someone, like it's such a positive way to look at this. And that's how I try to approach everything now. Because before, years ago, I would approach it like thinking they're just going to be my girlfriend right after I talk to him, which is so dumb. But it's like, that's what all my friends did. That was sort of just like the norm, I guess. And now I getting off social media has helped me with this as well. Sorry about my chair, it's squeaking like crazy. But anyways, it's like a $40 chair from Office Depot. I probably need to get a new one. But so it's like, I was debating whether to talk to her and all this stuff. And then I finished my workout, and then I kind of sat out in like the area. There's like tables, it's like before you leave or something. I sat out there to actually go through a Bible plan, but also really just relax, because after that, I didn't want to like pass out in my car or something if I were to. So I kind of just sat still to kind of lower my heart rate a bit and kind of have this blow over. I probably should have not worked out anyway, but that's not the point of this video. And my mind was like, I think I should just talk to her, you know. It was because obviously the fear of rejection was there, but it's like, this isn't my first time where it's just getting to know somebody, you know. And the reason I say that is because her shirt had a college on it, and I know that college because a lot of my friends went there out of high school, and our high school is known to like send a lot of kids to college there. So I assumed that maybe she went to the same school as me because she looked like about a year or two older. And so I was like, you know, that's that commonality. And I'm going to hit on that a second. That's the main point of this video. But right, and I was like, I should just go up and talk to her. So I ended up not doing it, and then I was like, I probably should. So I kind of waited out there and was going to talk to her when she left, which is kind of creepy. I didn't mean it like that. I was genuinely out there for a reason, and I was just going to catch her maybe like I was, you know, I don't know. I kind of just had it in mind, but I wasn't going to do it. And then she ended up walking out. She had her headphones in, and ended up like kind of like waving over at her, and then like I saw her shirt and explained like, you know, everything and stuff like that. And we talked for a little bit. It was a good conversation. You know, and then I learned her name, she learned mine, and we talked for a few minutes, and that was it. You know, it's like I wish a lot of men my age and everybody in my age group would kind of understand this. Like, it's really not that deep. You know, it's like I just wanted to talk to her so I know her, because that first interaction is always your most difficult. You know, it's always the most uncomfortable, and you feel the most awkward in it. But it's like, so does the other person, you know? And again, if they're gonna like just reject you off the spot and like think you're really weird and creepy, then they're probably not the person you want to hang out with anyway, or even not hang out with, but just know anyway, right? So it's like, it's stuff like that. Like, it really makes my day, because I've been a person who avoided that so much and was afraid to talk to girls, and still am. But it's like, you just gotta get out of your comfort zone and do it, right? You gotta do the hard thing. But the main point of this video, which is I want to talk about how to do that kind of, and I want to explain like, you sort of need to find commonalities between you guys. And this is for like, whether it's the opposite gender or the same gender, it really doesn't matter. Again, this is just to develop friendships, just purely like relationships. Whether that goes into something romantic in the future is whatever. That's really besides the point of this video. You shouldn't be looking for that off the bat, is what I'm trying to say. But right, like, if you want to find something common between you guys, you know, and the reason I say that is because it makes it easier on your end, and it makes it less awkward when they understand it. So instead of just like, you know, cold approaching a girl, asking for a number, which is just dumb, but cold approaching a girl and even just asking for her name, something like that, which is fine, but it makes it easier if you find something common between you guys. So, I mean, the easiest thing you could do is be like, you know, you go to the same gym together, so you'd be like, you know, hey, what's your name? I've seen you here a few times, stuff like that. Or in my example, I try to, you know, be observant of these things, and it's like, she was wearing a shirt of a college that I knew. Like, that's like the easiest thing to do, you know what I mean? So then I have a story and a reason behind it, and then I don't seem as like awkward. It makes more sense to me, because if I explain it, then she'll understand it. And again, don't think too deep into it, but if you can find those like common things between you guys, it's so much more helpful within the conversation. It makes it run smoother, and it makes the approach really easier. And I've been using this as much as I can, you know, like there's been other girls who've been there and they've had college shirts on or something like that, or I'm trying to think of another example, or even if it's like, you know, a guy who I know, like guys with college shirts on as well. Like, there's a guy from a university that's a town over, and you know, I know him now. I haven't seen him in a while, but it's like, found out his name, found out what he was doing, you know, kind of like how his life's going, how old he is and stuff like that, right? And the next time you see him, it's like, hey, you know, whatever, what's your name? And then you sort of develop that bond, right? So you need to find something common between you guys, whether it's at the gym, and it's just the fact that they're at the gym, or maybe, you know, even something too would be if I've done this before, where it looks like if they haven't used the machine, this is a gym example, or like they look a little confused, you just go up and ask and be like, hey, do you need help? I just, you know, usually what I like to do is, if it's something that I've struggled with too, I'll be like, hey, you know, I've had problems with that, I didn't know how to use that machine, and then I'll kind of help them through it. And you know, that's even if I don't know their name or something, it's still kind of the contact between you guys is a good first round, and also just helping people in general. So again, sort of, if you see this point of this video, I just want to like give more confidence to you guys, and like it's really not that hard to just go in a situation, ask that person, ask for their name, ask how their day is going, you know, just, and it all comes down to just being a light in the world, right? Being a force of goodness and positivity. We need more of that. And when you realize that relationships matter a lot more, not just romantic relationships, not even just like good friendships, but just general acquaintance relationships where you know somebody, where you can say, how's your life been? And it's never something deeper than that. You know, maybe it is down the line, maybe it's not, but it's like, hey, you know, I know you said you had this going on, how did that go? You know, just ask them questions, because if you ask them questions, that makes them feel known, makes them feel appreciated. I made a video on this a while back, but also like, you never know what that could do to a person if they're struggling with a mental illness or with suicide or with some heavy thing like that. It could literally make their day. You know, it could literally change their life trajectory. I know that's crazy and it's not always like that, but you don't know if it could. So at least lend the gesture, you know? That's what I love doing. You know, that's why at my job I actually work at the same gym. Is I work at the front desk, and it's like, I love that because I just get to see people and just say hi to them. You know, if they're regular, it's like, how's this or that going? Try to, you know, make their day, try to make them smile, right? I always have a smile on my face, and it's just, I love doing that. And so again, I don't even know what this video was. I kind of just yapped on stuff, but that's more of what I want this channel to be. Less than just these script videos, which I was thinking about leaning towards, where I'm talking about a specific topic with a big script and all these bullet points and stuff. I kind of just want to explain my experience, offer advice, and maybe make some videos that are like on a specific topic that I want to talk about, or again, something's been on my mind or something like that. But yeah, we'll just see where this leads. So thank you for watching. Yeah, this is a train wreck of a video, kind of, but whatever. You got to do something that you're comfortable with, right? I gotta take my advice for once. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.